So I had one last minute addition for sustainable construction that's on the website in the digital Dropbox, and it's also in your group folder as well. Yeah. So that presentation is also there now for sustainable construction.
Okay, all I could download was the one on electrical showers and security needs, because when I accessed the Dropbox, it was empty, nothing there.
Yeah, most of them put them in their group folders. I just emailed to you. All of the presentations.
Okay.
To your email address.
For now, can you, when you were doing the presentation, can you put the camera on the slides? Because I don't think you can download them here to see them here now.
Okay, I will try to do that. The arrangement here is a little bit strange, but I will try to set that up so they can do that. Sure. Okay, so I guess we should introduce ourselves. So
yes.
That would be great. So this is not the entire class, because this is not the normal time that we meet. Not everyone can be here, but I think I have someone from every group I think is here right now. So I'll let everyone introduce themselves, and I'll let you introduce yourselves as well. So maybe you should start.
Okay, me first. Age before beauty. Okay. Okay, so I'm Doris, and I saw all your interesting subjects, and I'm really very curious of what you've been or what you've studied so far, not knowing really for whom or in what circumstances you're designing these new products. So this will be rather interesting. And just one little advice that you might be thinking about is about users. Designing products, the idea is that they would be useful to different kinds of users. So I think the main reason that you're coming here is sort of to get a hang of what Brazilians are all about, and what Brazilians would like and use and are looking on the market for their own quality of life. So maybe when you're on that long plane ride, you can think about that a bit. Okay?
My name is Regina. My name is Regina. I'm a civil engineer. Doris is architect. My interest in the group is on collaboration, and I already had time to read the presentations of these two groups, electrical showers and security needs, and I thought that the questions that the group put on security needs are very difficult ones to answer.
Well, we're working on tough problems. Definitely.
Okay.
Marina? My name is Marina. I am a civil engineer also, and I work with water conservation in buildings, and I'm interested in water harvesting.
Great.
And storage. Thank you.
Wonderful.
My name is Marcos. I'm a civil engineer and a PhD candidate. I work with Professor Marina and rainwater harvesting also.
Hello. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn.
Okay. So go ahead, Dave.
My name is Dave Torek. I'm the teaching assistant for the class, and I kind of help out all the different groups that are here.
We're turning the wrong way. We should turn the other way around.
Dave, all right.
The other way around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Now
you
it's on
just
you.
cut him off. You cut him off.
Oh, yeah. There you go. All right. Sorry about that. You want to try that again?
Sure.
No.
My name's Dave Torek, and I'm the teaching assistant for the class, so I'm pretty much trying to help all the different groups achieve their goals.
Okay. Next.
Go ahead. You're up.
You turned it again.
He's got it.
I'm Dave Nellis. I'm studying engineering physics, and I'm from North Carolina, and I'm with the Lighting and housing interior group right here.
House security.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a senior marketing major, and I'm working on the lighting and housing interiors as well. I'm Nikki. I'm also a senior marketing major and working on lighting and housing interiors.
Okay.
All right.
Next.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a senior electrical engineer. I'm working on the water harvesting and storage.
Electrical
All right.
engineer. Okay.
Hi, my name is Jamie. I'm a senior marketing major, and I'm with the electric shower group.
Okay. Did you ever have a shower with an electric shower?
No, I haven't, but I want to try it.
You will.
Hi, I'm Cody Stitt. I'm a senior marketing major, and I'm with a recyclable construction group.
Your name? We didn't understand. We couldn't hear your name.
Cody.
How do you spell that?
Cody, C-O-D-Y.
Oh, Cody.
okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Alex Andreev. I'm also with the Sustainable Construction Group, and I'm a computer engineer.
What? What kind of engineer?
Computer engineer.
Oh, computer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is the crew that could make it at this time. There will be 18 students coming next week. One student still has some passport things that we need to work out, but I think everything will work out okay. Now, I need to try something. Can you tell me if you can see these slides when I put them up on the screen?
Just
okay?
a minute, Matt. We just got another person
Another
coming.
student here.
Student
okay.
who will participate.
Great.
I'm Martina. I participated in the CAPS FEC exchange program last year. I went to Texas A&M University.
And?
For 1 semester.
You're civil engineer or
Civil engineering.
Student.
Yeah, civil engineering grad.
So she's interested in participating when you come. Okay?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us. I really look forward to working with you. And I hope that you have a good time with this group and solving some interesting problems. So it should be exciting. I think everything is set up very nicely for that. Great. So I just want to see I'm going to switch my screen to see if you can see these PowerPoint slides. Okay? Tell me. I will not be able to see you, but I can hear you. So please tell me if you cannot see these slides. Okay?
Okay.
We'll scream.
So first we'll start with lighting and housing. Why not? Just because it's
Sure.
Go for it. So please introduce yourselves, and then let's see. You are sitting. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hi again.
Matt, can you take count of the time?
Yeah, the time. Yeah, sure. I have the time. So 8 minutes. So
Okay.
Go for it.
Hi again. We are the Lighting and Housing Interiors group. I'm Nicolette. This is Emily. This is Dave, and then Abe couldn't be here today.
Oh, you got it. Okay. Please correct us if we're wrong, but we understand that the Brazilian government subsidizes compact fluorescent light bulbs, and but currently, most people still use incandescent bulbs. The vast majority of the bulbs that are used by most Brazilians are incandescent bulbs. And we'd like to know, as far as the average, one of the major questions we have is, what is the average urban dwelling Brazilian use for lighting in their home? And we're considering different solutions, more energy efficient solutions, cheaper lighting solutions that I'll talk about in a later slide.
Question?
Yes, we are.
I just answer it.
Yeah.
We'll get.
Okay.
We can talk about everything at the end.
Go ahead. They'll present, and then
We've got a bunch of questions at the end.
As I believe Regina was saying earlier, in order to sell the product, that is the most important thing. So we did find a target market. We are going to target homeowners and specifically families that currently have electricity with a gross income of less than $1,500 US per year. And then Dave's going to talk about some of our potential solutions.
So over the course of our brainstorming, we came up with a bunch of different ideas. We considered solar power with power stored by, we could store solar-powered batteries and use that during the nighttime. Phosphorescent materials. We came up with an idea to have a skylight with a kind of a layer of phosphorescent material that would glow in the dark between 2 layers of glass, and that'd be a skylight. It'd be a low light solution. It wouldn't be meant for. It would just be kind of it wouldn't be meant to be light that you could work by. Then also we consider reflection of sunlight with mirrors during the twilight hours, early evening, and evening and early morning. And then those are our solar power solutions. And we have mechanical solutions. One of my personal favorite ideas is a crank-powered lamp. It would have LED light bulbs, a nickel metal hydride battery, and you crank it, and it would provide light. And we've seen products that you can crank for 2 minutes, and you'd have 80 minutes of light. And we hopefully can come up with some product. That's my personal favorite idea. So I could talk about this forever. But and then so that's a kind of a mechanical solution. It'd also be off the grid. So another question we have is how reliable is power? Are there how often does power go out? And if it's very frequent, we think this off-the-grid solution might be a good idea. Then solutions that modify current electrical that are on the grid, we considered better ballasts, electrical ballasts which conserve power, and also replacing bulbs with CFLs or LEDs. But since these governments seems to subsidize CFLs, that doesn't seem like a viable business solution. And then retrofitting current fixtures, we thought of adding reflectors, because a bare incandescent bulb the light output could be improved significantly with a reflector. I'm gonna speed this up. And then let's see, and dimmer switches, energy efficient dimmer switches, and I think, and that's it. Just moving on.
Okay. And these are a few of the questions that we would like to have answered either now or while we're in Brazil, just about the current lighting situation and what consumers see as the major problem with the lighting currently. And then we're hoping to get your input on which of those different categories would be best to pursue.
Would you like to go to the questions, answering them?
Please.
Please.
Can I say something first? I think when you're thinking about a product, you have to be very careful that the product isn't too weird, so that it won't be, so it will be accepted by these simple people. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is the cost of electricity for the very poor is almost zero, because they steal the electricity from the main line. They don't pay for it. So there is a problem there that you can't associate really the cost of electricity with the consumption of electricity in favelas and things like that, right?
That's not what
But this is not where we're really interested in. We're interested in a sort of a little bit higher bracket, where people really are concerned about not spending too much on their light bills. So that is a big deal. The thing about replacing bulbs, these new bulbs that are more efficient, they are extremely expensive still in Brazil. So people just don't buy them. As you've noticed, that the other bulbs are subsidized. So that is a very interesting proposition of you guys. Third one is the educational campaign. I would say that when Brazil had an electricity shortage some years ago, there was a huge campaign which really worked. It was national, and people have sort of slowly gotten back into the habit of not worrying about their electricity costs. But this is very easy to do in Brazil when you do it on a national level. So I let the other people talk.
the biggest problem in lighting? I think it's the cost. Not very much worried with lack of emergency lighting. No worry on that. On the kind of the consumers we're going to be working with. Number of outlets.
It's not that important either.
No. I think efficiency and cost would be what you have to think about. What is the current lighting situation for people in our target markets? Well, with the neighborhoods we will be visiting and doing products for them, I think there's very much, it's very common to have no energy. You think once a week or once a month?
I don't think this is the major problem anymore. In this region here, no. But the conservation is a big issue, and people are concerned about it. So I think we're on the right track here. Reflectors and dimmers and things of this kind, they have to be sort of almost part of the whole system without the consumer really knowing about it, because people are not they're not looking for things of this kind yet. Then I think it's because they don't know about it. Okay, so I would say that the products, they have to be intelligently designed, that these things are incorporated and come sort of like an automatic extra.
Okay, is that okay?
That's great.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So is there a source that these folks can look towards that you can recommend over the next couple of days before we pack up and come down to Brazil?
You want numbers of consumers and stuff like that, or what are you looking for?
I think that we have access to a lot of that through databases here. It would be more things that can characterize the consumer in terms of consumer preferences, maybe.
Maybe we can send this afterwards, huh?
Yeah. I just have one issue, is that in the last 5 or so years, people have changed their light fixtures to include ceiling fans with the light fixtures. That is a fairly recent thing in Brazil. So you might look into that, because with our climate, the fan with the light fixture is an interesting kind of a gadget that might even that you might consider, of maybe how you would put these reflectors and dimmers and educational campaigns with ceiling fans and light fixtures.
Interesting. Okay, great. Okay, does that help you folks?
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. So we'll switch now to the next group. So which group are you?
Water harvesting.
Water harvesting. Okay. Water harvesting.
Water harvesting. Mm-hmm.
I'm Michael Adeke. My other 3 group members are Amanda, Rachel, and Leslie, but they have class right now. And our project is water harvesting and storage. So you can switch to the first slide. This is the problem as we see it, or as we understand it, is that right now a lot of the people in Brazil have an irregular water supply that's not always clean, and there's not a lot of affordable options. We understand that a lot of people use bottled water or just drink bottled water instead of using the utility, the water provided by the government. And our goal in our product is to create an affordable and regular supply of sanitary water so that people could use for drinking, cooking, and showering. So we have 3 main goals, and we have measures of these goals. Our first goal is to make it affordable, and we looked at the amount of average amounts of monthly income that people use and how much of that money that people would be willing to spend on clean water. Our second goal was to make sure that supplied clean water, so we looked at measures of water purity, bacterial levels, and sedimentary levels, how clear it is. And our third goal was to make sure it's continuous, that whenever people wanted water, that they can get it. So our measure would be to see if it met household demand. And we looked at the current techniques that people use to store their water. There's electric hot water tanks, that some people use. It's some of these are also used in the United States that they hold water and they heat it up, and it's used for showering or things like that. We also looked at underground bags, which is just basically a plastic bag that people use underneath their homes or next to their homes or close to their homes. And we found in other developing countries. Another storage technique that we saw was underground storage. It was mainly in like plastic bins, similar to the bins that are also used on top of the roof, but just basically big plastic bins that people use to store water in. And the third one was, I guess, the fourth one, is the most common. The rooftop storage is those big plastic bins that people use to store their extra water in. And then the current filtration techniques that we looked at for that are being used right now is boiling. Some of the problems with boiling water is that it's time consuming, and you can't boil a lot of water at once, and it requires a reliable source of energy that could be used for other things. But on the plus side, it's inexpensive. There's also UV purification or just solar disinfection. That's one of the biggest. That's one of the ones that we were focusing on, using sunlight through PET plastic to purify water. One of the biggest downsides of solar disinfection is that it takes a long time to work, and you also need to test it to make sure that it's clear of bacteria. And it doesn't. And while it can clear, while solar disinfection is inexpensive and it reduces the amount of bacteria, it doesn't make the water clear. Two other techniques of filtration we looked at that were probably too expensive to consider were chlorine and ozone sanitation. And I think that's the last slide that I put on here. I have a list of questions for Marina and Marcos, you said.
Okay. Perguntas para vocês. Okay. Okay, what are your questions?
Okay. How do people get water? Just in general, do they use it? Do they use their faucets? And if they do use their faucets, do they use that faucet water to drink out of?
How do people get water?
No, I think it's a different question, because we have potable water from the main supply. I was talking with Matthew about rainwater. Okay, it's an alternative source of water. We have almost 95% of houses in Campinas region that have a water supply from the city. Okay, so I'm worried with the quality of water, rainwater, for example, or black water, just rainwater reuse of water. Okay, our biggest problem is about sanitary. Yes, I think it's a problem. Okay, because we don't have treatment stations of for sewage. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that's another question you raised is people. There is not the habit in Brazil of drinking directly from the faucet, because there has been historically the water has not been that clean and that safe. Mm-hmm. So people do have the habit of buying water, or in poorer regions, as you said, they do boil water. And then filter water. A lot of people have small filters in their homes where they drink from. So maybe you could investigate that. Okay.
Okay, that's one of the biggest questions. Is there a reliable supply of water that's just not clean, or is there just too little water in general?
Well, I think that the main reason that the water that comes out of the faucet often has some impurities is that the systems in many cities are very old, so they're underground, and then they have some leakage, and then mud gets into the system and stuff like that. So what comes out of the faucet, culturally, people are sort of suspicious of that it's not that clean, so they have habits of avoiding to drink this water.
And we have the reservoir, elevated tank.
There's another problem is the water boxes on top of the houses, which I think when you get to the airport, you should really look out for that, because it's very visible, these blue boxes on top of houses. This is where the water is stored. And there is a big problem of having the habit of cleaning those boxes. So if these boxes are not cleaned every 6 months or so, you can sort of breed your own problems in your own house.
Okay? The
Is it possible?
The supply is good enough, you know. There is no shortage of water in the supply.
Okay, that was one of our biggest questions. Should we more focus on a simple filtration solution and assume that people can get their water? Okay. And another question. Well, I guess I don't need to ask the question about storage tanks. But do you guys use chlorine tablets or some sort of other chemical use?
You can buy them, but it's not a habit of families using them on a daily basis, no.
Okay.
You had some ideas about rainwater also.
Yeah.
So can you just talk quickly about those?
Sure.
Okay.
One of our systems involving rainwater included using basically gutters on the houses to catch the water, and a solar disinfection unit, basically PET plastic, storing water on top of a roof under a layer of PET plastic and keeping it there for 6 hours or so to disinfect it, and then storing it in a separate tank. That was one of our rainwater solutions. I don't know if that's feasible. We really wanted to go visit there and take pictures and see how the people lived and got their water and understand that before we committed.
Well, just one more thing is that you have to think that Brazil is a huge country, and if you're just thinking about the region around here, there is no lack of rain, but there are regions in Brazil where harvesting rainwater is a real problem because it doesn't rain. So some of these systems are not nationally possible to be used or to be even thought of. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so let's see who's next here. Here we go. Electric shower.
Hey, hello again, I'm Jamie. My two other group members, they're the engineers in the group. I'm going to try my best to explain our solar alternative the best that I can, but they're Andy and Tay, so you'll meet them when we come down. So what we see as our project, basically, electric shower heads are used in Brazil to heat the water for their showers. They consume 8% of Brazil's electricity and consume 18% in peak production. Our task is to find an alternative water heating system to heat the water for their showers. We have two approaches so far. We can go either way. We thought of a solar heating water system or just improve upon the existing electric shower product that exists in the market right now. So here's what Andy and Tay came up with for our solar water heating system, just a concept breakdown for it. We have three different things we want to do with the water: water circulation, heating, and then water storage. And with each one of those, there's different counterparts that we could either take.
There we go.
Okay, sorry about that. So with the water circulation, heating, and water storage, there were different avenues we could take with this. With the water circulation, we could take active or passive. The active is actually installing electric pumps, and the passive is using gravity or the convection of water. As we said, the water storage is on the roof, so maybe we could use gravity to circulate the water through the pipes into the shower. For heating the water, there are two different types of solar panels, as I understand, parabolic and a flat panel. Parabolic looks like a satellite, and it would just heat the water somehow with
water.
And a flat solar panel, and there's different types of them as painted sheet metal and a vacuum tube. And then water storage, we could either have
an insulated tank, or an auxiliary heater.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the other approach that we wanted to take, I'm more in favor of, is improve the existing product. And two main areas we can improve are safety and electric consumption of the product. And any new or improved feature offers a great way to offer to the Brazilians in the market. And some different types of features we could do is durability of the product, temperature options, shower head options, heats water in less time, and lower the cost of installation and obviously the retail price. So what I did, I have actually a couple of friends in Jericoacoara in the north, and so I asked her for some of her feedback to give some of her friends up there, just to fill out a quick survey that I did, just to get some insights of what Brazilians thought of the product already in the market. And what I found from the survey that I sent out was Brazilians take an average of 2 showers per day for about 5 minutes. And you can correct me if it's different in the South or what you think about all this at the end, because I do have some questions as well. Second, electric showers are a luxury item in the Northeast, but everyone, even the less wealthy people in the South, have them. Third, electric showers consume a lot of energy, has the potential to increase the monthly electricity bill by 40%, which is pretty significant. Next, installation and the electricity it consumes are what makes electric showers expensive. So what we wanted to try to do is really decrease the installation price and the retail price and the electricity it consumes. And the most common safety issue was electric shock for them. So there are two different approaches what we are thinking about now and how it can meet the customer requirements. The solar, again, decreases electricity consumption. Because this is a sustainable energy course, it is sustainable, it's safe, and it's environmental friendly. But with the electric shower already in place, it's easy installation, it's low upfront cost, it's widely available at any hardware store, and it's already the norm in Brazil. It's part of your lifestyle, it's already known. So these are just some questions that we had that we think that could give us some more insights into how we should proceed. First, is their water storage tank readily connected to the indoor plumbing system? If we went with the solar type, we didn't know how easy that would be to install it. Second, how well known is a solar water heating system? How would they think of this? Is it too abstract for Brazilians to even think about or even consider? Next, with regards to the electric shower head, how concerned are the people about safety when going to buy it? Is safety really the biggest issue, or is it the price? Next, how important, again, this is what I just said, how important is price and then the installation cost to Brazilians when they buy an electric shower? Next, how much would Brazilians be willing to pay for an improved electric shower? Would they be shunned away if the price was a little bit more expensive, $1 or $2, but if it was an improved product, either electricity or installation or consumption? Next, what is the cost of labor and cost of materials for the product? And I just wanted to know initial thoughts, comments, concerns about what we have so far with all of this.
Okay. Are we supposed to answer already?
You can answer if you want when we come down to Brazil. I can talk to you with one-on-one if that would be easier, if you want time to, you know.
I just wanted to...
Okay. If you want, you can give me some feedback.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that the homes that have electric showers do not have a storage tank for hot water at all. They just have a storage tank for cold water, which is then connected to the cold water system, and over the shower there is the electric shower. So
Okay.
All right. So there is a real problem of reinstalling a whole new system of where you would be storing your hot water if you're thinking of storing it. Okay. That would be very complicated. I would say that, one of the problems of the electric shower that you might not have touched on too much is the pressure. That most of these systems, the pressure of what the water comes out is very low, and it doesn't give you this sort of a nice strong bath. Okay, so if you can make people sell the idea that your new product will give them this great, better shower, Maybe they
I think it's not a good idea for water conservation.
Oh, yeah. Marina didn't like the idea. Well, we'll just, instead of 5 minutes, we'll tell them to do a 3-minute shower. So.
Yeah. That sounds good.
I think the shower is more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, mine is longer than 5 minutes. Eh? Okay, so I would say this is the thing. And solar panels, you can get all this stuff in Brazil, but it's since it's so easy to buy an electric shower, the majority of the population never even thinks about such things. Okay.
Okay.
Can I say one thing? When you talk about the north of the country, I'm from there, so I can talk. People don't use electric showers not because of the price of the electric showers. They're cheap, especially they don't need it because the water in the tank got really hot. So in my home over there, I have 3 electric showers and they all turn off because the water is hot. And
Naturally hot.
Naturally hot, yeah. The problem about the electric shower is the price of the electricity, not the price of the shower itself.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next?
Okay, we're the recyclable construction group. Cody, and this is Alex. We also have another member, Kate, and she's at work right now. She couldn't come. These are our goals for recyclable construction. We want the user to be able to disassemble and reuse the parts. We want it to be affordable to the lowest classes that build their own homes. We want it not to require any special tools or specialized skill, and for the whole construction to be manageable by a 1 to 2 person team. That's not very visible. Can you read that?
Yes. Yeah, we can read.
Oh, okay.
But you can't.
Yeah. This is just an overview of.
Hold on, let me. Okay, they can still see you. Okay. Go ahead.
This is an overview of just the different concepts that we have. One is to use the existing block or brick that people are currently using and use a new type of adhesive or mortar to combine it. And that would either be a polymer-based mortar or a mortar that uses aggregate base. And another thing would be to change the actual block that's being used to some type of plastic block that could be joined with clips.
Lego.
I don't know if that's going to be feasible because of cost, though.
It's not sustainable plastic.
Okay.
This is about the polymer-based mortar. It would be silicone or other polymer-based, and you could apply it with a standard caulking gun. And disassembly of it would you could just use a standard utility blade to cut it and pull it off the brick to reuse it. And it's easier on the skin than current mortar solutions. Another option would be dissolvable mortar. That uses a mortar similar to what's being used now, but you would dissolve it using some type of reagent. But this might be difficult because it would have to be safe for the installer and for the environment. And the hollow plastic block idea. I couldn't get the drawing in there, but do you use Jersey barriers down there for like construction? Nothing like that.
They don't know what that means.
No.
But highway barrier.
Like a it would just be a plastic shell that's hollow. It'd be very lightweight, and then it could be filled with water, dirt, sand, anything like that to increase the rigidity and of it.
I don't think we do.
No.
No.
We don't have that here, no.
Okay. Well, our presentation is short because mostly we just have a lot of questions.
All right.
What do our target market is people who
build
currently
themselves.
go out, collect the materials themselves from a local hardware store and assemble their house themselves. And we were wondering what's currently available and what's the most common thing used to build a low-income house, and what's the average size of the house and the layout? Is it just one room? Does it have a peaked roof or just a flat roof? And about the average cost or average price that people spend to build their house.
Okay, do we answer already? Or are there more questions?
That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll talk first. First of all, I would say that there are lots and lots of inventions going on in Brazil. A lot of people are working on this kind of research that you did. The problem is that most of these ideas are very smart, very intelligent, but somehow they don't get down to becoming a cultural sort of a thing, because it's so easy to buy a concrete block, to buy ceramic hollow bricks that people are used to, and they just keep on using what they used to. The second reason is that most of these self-builders, they all know how to mix a bit of mortar and concrete, so they don't have to learn anything new. So they keep on doing what they traditionally knew how to do. So it's very hard to introduce new concepts into this sort of very traditional type of building techniques, okay? Self-built homes, I would say that most of the self-built homes on legalized land are on the average between 50 to 60 square meters. I have no idea what that is in square feet, so you have to do the changeover, okay? And most of these homes take a long time to get finished, okay? They take some 20 years to really, where we can say that they're finished. Most don't have flat roofs, but have a 30% inclined roof with, in the Campinas region, with ceramic tiles. Okay. What else did you want to know?
Average cost.
The average cost is very hard to calculate because it takes so long.
But
okay?
I think it goes to 6 cents.
So there's really not, it doesn't seem that there's much need for recyclable construction then, as much as just maybe a better way to construct it. Like,
well,
because the reason we were going with the recyclables, we were under the impression that, you know, maybe that house sizes change often, or, you know, that it would need to be disassembled and reused. But if it takes 20 years, then more than likely it wouldn't be disassembled or reused.
Well, what happens a lot is that people start building, and then they have new ideas, and then they break down what they've done, and then they start all over again. So there's a lot of waste in this particular way of building, okay? But that's very hard to change with just the product. There's an educational problem and sort of a help problem. They need to have some assistance so that they don't build the wrong thing from the start, okay? So you have a big problem on cultural basis, educational basis, and there are lots of products available, and there's lots of research on recycling material, especially for mortar. There are huge studies going on all over the country on doing better mortar and recycled products inside the mortar and so on and so forth. So it's not something that people don't know about around here. And there are lots of different kinds of new blocks coming up. For instance, putting empty Coke bottles and tying them together with wire, and then just putting concrete around them and making them lightweight concrete blocks is something that people have done and seems to be working. But it's something what I would call a weird product, which is not available easily on the corner store. So all these interesting products, they are sort of launched, but they don't become a national item, and then they are forgotten after a few months, and people go back to the old habits. So how do we break that? That's a big challenge for you.
Okay. So there weren't any team members from the water security group could come to now.
They got scared, huh? They got scared.
Yeah.
Their questions.
Wait and see how scared they are at the end of the week. What was I going to say? So I do have some slides from them, and I could get some feedback from you that I could pass along to them, or we could just skip it and just have them face the music when the time comes. So either way, if we have another 30 minutes or so, I could just let you look at their slides and provide some feedback, if that's okay.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Oh, yeah, just in time. You ready to present?
No, I don't even have the PowerPoint.
You have this one. Come on, have a seat. It's time. It's your time.
I have a question. Just a general question. Will I be able to use an American bank card, ATM card, to get cash?
Yes, you
are.
are.
Available, the ATMs?
Your Visa or American Express, you can use here, okay? But don't spend too much.
Does it have to be a credit card, or can they use what we call debit cards or ATM cards? It comes from a checking
credit card.
Yes.
Do you have a credit card? You better get one.
Okay.
And don't walk around with too much money on you.
So we do have someone who can present. They've just been able to make it right now, so she's just getting herself prepared for this. Go ahead and have a seat. If you need to go, you can do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, some students have to leave right now because they have another class. So.
Bye, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Are your suitcases ready?
Not yet. Okay. So this is Jennifer. You want to say hello and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Hells. I'm from the security group, and that's what I'll be discussing with all of you today. Basically, we're addressing the security problems in Brazil. There are many different areas of security, and what we want to keep in mind always is that we're addressing your values and cultures as well as other sustainability concerns. And we want to provide the Brazilian people with safety, comfort, and a better quality of life through the devices and services that we're going to come up with.
Yeah.
Basically, one of the problems we've seen in Brazil is that there's a huge demographic of younger people, and from our research we found that most kids are in danger, or they have the highest propensity for being in danger. We've also found facts like Brazil ranks 3rd in the world for homicide rate for ages 15 to 24. There were many murders in Sao Paulo last year, and there are also armed robberies, car thefts, and other sorts of violence. And this is a huge risk to the Brazilian economy. So we believe that addressing these security concerns could really help the economy and help the Brazilian government save a lot of money in the future. About specific types of crimes, there's a lot of gun violence, there's a lot of sexual crime, and we looked at security sales, but our first goal that we looked at, or our first aim for security devices, was for home security. But since we've made this PowerPoint, we've actually changed our focus a little bit, especially since discovering that what we really want to protect are children, because children are in danger when they leave school and go home or when they go out alone. So right now, some of the information on the slides are focused on a different area than the ones that we are. Basically now we're looking at personal security, we're looking at devices that deal with combinations of pepper spray and flashlight and other things like that. But most importantly, we need to have a couple of questions answered, such as what do you value the highest as far as commodities, as far as family, etc. Also, what do you do to prevent the types of crimes that are there, as far as gun violence, other types of violence, also theft. Also, how do you work with one another to keep each other safe? We also need to know a little bit about how the police structure is organized, because part of what we want to do might be involving paging the police. We also would like to know how trusting the Brazilian people are as a whole, because that would help us market our product better. And to that end, we also need to know how Brazilian civilians interact with the police, and also how Brazilians define security. And along with all those other questions, we have a couple of others, like what do you value the highest? How do you protect what you value the highest? How accountable do the people in general think they are to the law? And most importantly, what makes you feel safe? This question will really help us aim our devices and services to your needs. Thank you.
Let Martina say a few words to you.
Well, I think some of your questions were a bit difficult for engineering people to answer. They're very sociological, I'd say, maybe. But I think something I could answer that you asked was what Brazilian people are doing to protect themselves against violence. And I think what we're doing here is that we're locking ourselves in our homes and in our cars, and we don't use the public spaces so much anymore. That's what the people are trying to do, because another question you made, the image of people have from the police here is very bad, and sometimes you are as afraid of the police as you are from the criminals. So it's a difficult subject. In the biggest cities here, I think it's one of the most serious problems in the country, so it's not easy to answer all these questions.
Neighborhoods like we live ourselves, it happens what she says, we lock, we have, let's see, bars on our windows, and we have huge walls around a set of houses. So you don't see very much of police around. You see, it's not like you see every day a police car, you know. And so how do you feel safe? You feel safe at home?
Yeah.
In your car? Inside the university, you do feel safe? Yes.
Pretend to feel safe.
But how do you, if you trust citizens? Well, in the whole, yes, you do. When you are in a neighborhood like ours, you really do trust who is around you. Yeah, and we can see. It's like you have visually. You can see. You can see who you can trust or who you cannot trust. You know, something that you on your eyes you look, and also the situation that you go to makes you see if you're in a safe or not safe situation. You know. Yes.
Well, that's, I think, what...
If you think of a product, maybe you think of something to the family, I think, to the house. Paging police, I don't think this is the most effective. Something about the family in C, for the house, maybe.
Well, first of all, I also think that you should investigate that security costs. The kind of things that people spend money on is very high. I mean, they will spend money on all sorts of gadgets which they think will make them feel more secure. Like in most apartment buildings, there are cameras installed. There are bars on the walls, electric systems, and then they install sort of almost medieval kind of gadgets to make people, to control entrance of people, and this is all costs money. These are all products which have something to do with construction. So you might investigate this. Now, these kind of gadgets or products not necessarily really give you complete security, because good gangsters will always be able to break these systems, but they make people somehow feel more secure, okay? What you've said about, and what Regina said, most people nowadays who have smaller or teenage children, the main thing is for you to know where these children are. So you have some sort of a connection and keep an eye on things somehow. So that's one way that people think that they are safeguarding their family.
Cell phones
and things of this kind, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kids, very young age have cell phones for security, not just for talking among friends.
Well, one thing that I've tried to think about security from a functional perspective so that it can apply to different technologies. So I talked with this group about possibly defining it in terms of one aspect is prevention of crime. So those are the walls and security fences so that the crime doesn't take place in the first place with some physical barrier or object that prevents it from happening. Another functional way of doing that is making the cost of the crime so high that people are dissuaded from doing it in the first place. So a gun is an example of something like that, or some sort of shock device, or pepper spray or things like that. It makes the cost of executing the crime very high. So those two functional ways. And now you've mentioned a third way, which is how people perceive their own safety, how those devices play to their own perceptions of what makes them feel safe and secure. And then a fourth one is this connection idea. If you have eyes watching all the time or some connection with supervision, this goes back to Jane Jacobs in Safety in Cities. Places where people can see where things are happening, the crime rate goes down. So those are four areas that I think they can look at functionally for trying to solve this problem. Another way is to pick a specific technology and focus on that too. Yeah, sure. Go, please. Yeah.
One idea that our group was sort of tossing around and discussing was sorry about the cell phone. We were discussing like a pager between the parents and the kids, where one parent has a pager, another parent has a pager, and the kid is a pager. And if the child were to get in trouble, they could page either parent. And the pager would have a clock on it, so it would let the parent know what time the child paged them to say, I need help. The parent could also respond by paging the child, and the child would then see the time of when the parent read their message and would be able to come and help them. Also, it would come with just a basic help button that would make a loud noise when pressed or have an alarm go off. Does that sound like a good idea to you? It kind of reminded me of what you were just discussing.
It's something that probably people would buy, but when you think about the crimes that we're talking about, like kidnapping, for ransom, which is very common nowadays, the first thing these kidnappers do, they take away all the gadgets and don't even let the child or the person use these kinds of gadgets. So there might be something more automatic that one needs, But then on the other hand, if you have these automatic gadgets, then your privacy and your whole sort of everybody knows where you are and so on and so forth. So you're getting into a very kind of a murky kind of area, which I think this Big Brother business is getting us to that, and I don't think that's really the solution either. Okay. So security is a big problem. At the moment, Brazil is discussing what Matt was talking about, that crime should have a high cost. So there are new ways of, the big discussion is whether the justice system just has to change so that these crimes, it's a higher cost if you get caught. Because nowadays these young people who commit crimes, they are out on the street after a few months again. It's because first of all, there's no room in the prisons, and secondly, the justice system is in a way. But there is a big discussion on that in Brazil. Okay.
Great. Do you have any other questions?
No, I think we're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Okay. That's the whole point.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, does anyone? Well, do you have any questions of us in general about the projects, and then we'll deal with the logistics. I know we're getting close to being out of time, so we can end shortly.
Well, the only group that asked for new resources were the one on lighting, the first one, huh? Lighting.
But do you want any new resources or anything?
For lighting? Lighting's gone.
Lighting's still here, but no, I think pretty much.
Okay, how about you on construction? Resources that they can make available to you?
Some type of contact with Rossi Construction if they're still.
I didn't understand your question.
Do you have if we could have access to a construction company of some sort?
Yes. We're going to talk to an engineer from a huge construction company, and he's going to explain to us how they work and so on.
Okay, so they don't have any more questions for you. Do you have any questions for us before I start asking questions?
Go on, man.
Go on, Matt. Your turn.
My turn. Okay, so I really just have two. The one question is, when we get to the airport, I guess I need to call Luciana about this to see where she will meet us, where the bus will meet us.
Yeah.
Before going to the Atlantic Forest, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what you arranged there with Emilia, because she has not given me anything back. And
okay,
so the bus.
She did send me.
Yeah?
She did send me an email saying that she has it all planned out.
Okay.
But I don't know if she's contacted Luciana to put it in with the other things that we have. So I think I will just have to call her and get that straightened out.
Yeah, I think that would be safer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because I don't know. Okay.
All right. So that's the one, and then the other thing is some of these things, as far as paying for them. If I can do a wire transfer for some of them that would go to the university, I can do that, or I can just pay by credit card when I'm down there.
I think that's better.
Okay.
Because remember last time the money somehow got lost or something like that?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I think credit card is better. Okay.
That's great.
Mas ele podia trazer dólares e fazer exchange in the airport, don't you think so?
No, you need some small money so you can exchange at the airport for a cup of coffee and stuff like that. So you need that, okay?
If you think about 50 reais per day of cash, what do you think?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's people, and you can get money from the machine too, if you run out. Okay, I have one question. Today, Michael Lahr called me and he said that he had heard from you. So I told him in which hotel you're going to stay in Rio. If you want to meet with him, he's open to that.
Okay,
Rio.
sure, that's fine. I will set that up when we're there. Okay.
So you
I will
send,
email him.
So you send him the email, okay?
Okay.
All
Sure,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he was interested in working with us from his email that he sent. But so I will respond back and I will get that set up with him.
Okay.
Great.
What
It would
else?
be good to work with him. I think everything else seems to be okay. What about like the cafeteria? Are we going to be able to schedule? Okay.
Yeah, I arranged that, and we're going to get a card for you, so you'll have to go together, okay? And you have access to medical care. I've arranged that as well. All right.
Great.
So what else? I guess.
I think that's all. I think everything is in good shape.
Yeah. I hope you don't get lost in the forest with Emilia.
Me too.
But I was looking at
I'm only worried this much. Not this much, just this much. So we're very much looking forward to that.
What did you want to say, Regina?
No, I was looking at the agenda that Doris prepared, and it seems very nice. I think you guys are going to like it.
Yeah, I still don't have an answer from the TRIZ people. If they don't show up, we'll do something else that afternoon. I have a room reserved for you, so we can talk. We can work with the separate groups. We can go on foot and visit something. Okay.
Great. Then just meeting with your students and so on.
Right.
My sense is that it's open at all times for when students would want to join us and so on. But if you have a plan for when you want them to meet and so on, that's however that works is fine as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I think we're all set. I will work with Luciana to get everything squared away with her, and but otherwise I think we're in good shape.
All right. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a good trip.
Yeah, thank you. We look forward to seeing you, and thank you for meeting with us today.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Nice meeting you
Yes,
guys.
bye now. Thank you.
Have a nice trip.
Thanks. Thank you.